So the reason why I started mixed martial arts really, I just wanted to be more disciplined. I was already working out. I was doing light workouts and doing calisthenics at home, but I felt like if I was to spend my time training and putting in all this, blood, sweat, and tears, I want to do it something that I feel like is worth my time. I didn't want to just be strong. I wanted to actually know how to use skill. I wanted to have knowledge about, certain topics. So I just felt like the martial art was a great start for me. So I was just watching movies and everything, man, and I'll just be like, if if they can do that for a movie, if they can do that for a role, and they can train and do that, I can do that too. Because these aren't professional fighters, I mean, there's some professional fighters out there that are signed up for movie roles, but I'm like, man, they don't train to fight, and they look good in this movie. I think it look cool, so why can't I? And that's when I made the final decision. I said, you know what? I'm gonna start mixed martial arts, and it didn't take me long to kind of find my rhythm. I say I started off with a kickboxing conditioning class, which was pretty cool, man. They taught me the basics and like to fight the right footwork and how to throw certain punches and kicks and everything. And a lot of people kind of I don't know, they kind of like shoot down conditioning classes and everything, but I think it's a great start, especially for somebody that don't really know a lot about combat sports and everything. It's easier for them. It's more comforting, bro, because they're going to a gym that actually have fighters and they may feel more out of place, where when it's a conditioning gym, it's open to the public more, like there's way more beginners in there, and I think it'll give you a good foundation to start. So when you do go to another gym, you kind of already got your rhythm, certain lingos, and you kind of already, got a grasp of how your body moves. So you will kind of know what to do with the drills. The drills will come to you more naturally. You get what I mean? But that's a quick backstory with that. And then going through my first um my first experience, I was kind of nervous to spar. I'll be honest. When I first started conditioning, I was super open to failing. I really wasn't scared to fail. I knew I had to fail at something in order for me to get it right. I knew it took reps. But when it came to sparring, I didn't really understand it at first. I was like, yeah, I don't want to get hit. I don't want to get hit, and I don't want to be put in that situation. But then my first time sparring, he was lighter than me. Of course he was a little bit more experienced, but he wasn't that far ahead of me. He was way lighter. I was heavier than him. He was smaller, and the first time he tried to hit me with a oblique kick, which was crazy. But I was like, this like playing with my cousin. Like this ain't that far from playing with my cousin or my brother. Play wrestling or whatever like that. It's fun when it can be. When y'all not trying to hurt each other, it can be fun. And that's another topic I can speak on for another video. But I just felt like I was like, yeah, like this is cool. I can get used to this. All right, this ain't that bad. This ain't that bad. And I started sparring more. I started recording myself more. Started doing like watching film, seeing what I got to do to be better, seeing what techniques I got to work on. And then that's something that you realize too. Like as you get better, and you look back at your old videos, you like, oh, okay. Like I look pretty stupid, but I got better, and you appreciate those moments a lot more. So going in, I say, bro, don't be scared to look stupid, man. Don't be scared to fail. Don't be scared to spar. You do gotta understand that, in order to get better when it comes to combat, you have to fight. You gotta fight. If you want to get the real results, you got to know what it's like a little bit. Now, I ain't saying go in and, hard spar every day, but you do got to know what it's like to feel the exchange if you want to get better. If you looking for something, if you searching, you know, for a, for a specific result, I say yeah, you got to know what it's like because you would be knowledgeable in that area. You would just know how to look cool rather than actually knowing what works and what don't work. Some of my struggles I had when I first came in, I don't think I had that much control. I feel like I can get a little too anxious, and people will take advantage of that. Now I'm starting to take my time more. I'm way more patient. I'm letting I'm letting everything come to me. I'm letting the skills come to me, and I'm listening too. I was always an open listener. I don't talk when somebody trying to tell me something. I wait until they done speaking, then I ask the question. I try to take as much time listening and also asking as many questions as I want. But that was kind of my main struggle, I say, not trusting myself, not trusting my capabilities. Going in, I kind of switched up my sparring style. Going against better people, more experienced people. You got to start coming in with strategy and a plan. You can't just go in and fight. And that's how I kind of learned. I was just adding stuff to my arsenal and just, you know, coming up with my rhythm. That's all I say. Just I was just finding my rhythm. I wasn't really too focused on my struggles. I feel like I was struggling with everything. I was like, man, I got to get better in all areas. So I'm a blank slate. It's always work I gotta do. And what I learned with mixed martial arts, what it means to me, I think it's a lifestyle, of course, but when it comes to the martial art, it disciplines violence, but I think the people glorify it. The mixed martial arts was made to discipline violence, and I think over time it's starting to get more primal than it is about passion. And I question myself a lot, thinking that like, man, is this a passion or is this just like a primal instinct of just wanting to, do harm or just wanting to fight and do all that? Like I think it's an art form, and I think it's whatever you make it. It's the UFC is not the highest peak of martial arts. It's whatever you want it to be as an artist. And if you feel like you learned enough for your lifetime, then you are complete as a martial artist for your individual sake. But overall, it's always work that has to be done, and it's so many things to learn. And I think it's endless. I don't think it's a black belt, white belt. I believe it's a white belt every day. Like that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking towards too. I'm always looking towards to learn. So my message uh to anybody that's looking looking to train mixed martial arts or looking to compete, I say take your time, see what you really want out of this dude. Like don't just go in thinking it's cool, bro, because you will hurt yourself. You will hurt yourself a lot, man. Like especially going with guys that's not thinking like you, bro. Like it's not that much of an ego problem in combat sports, I say, because you got the choice to stop. Like you got the choice to tell somebody like, bro, we not doing that. We not hard sparring. If you training too hard, I just can't train with you. I'll train with somebody else. I'd rather do that than go through that. But still, if you about to compete, if you think you're going to compete, don't be so focused on trying to be a pro. Take as many amateur fights as you can. Train as much as you can, and take your time, bro. Don't rush yourself because you want to last as long as you can. You don't want to, you know, do it for a short time and now you hurt yourself and you can't even go pro. You get what I'm saying? Because you're trying to go crazy. Like, see what you got to do. You want to do kickboxing? Okay, do kickboxing. Don't just start with mixed martial arts. Start with one like boxing. Do a couple boxing matches. Do a couple kickboxing matches. Do some Muay Thai, do some grappling as well. Get into some tournaments or wherever. And then, start going in there. Try to get as seasoned as possible, I say. Other than that, if y'all like this video, Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section if you got any suggestions, or if you're looking into getting into mixed martial arts and you got any questions, just let me know. Other than that, I hope all is well and Godspeed.